Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Google Hangout. We're going to be talking with our pharmacy students tonight and going over some different topics all about pharmacy, everything pharmacy that you want to know. We got three wonderful students in front of us tonight, but before we get started, I want to let everybody know that you can ask all of your questions in the chat room window, which is right below the video, or you can tweet your questions to @ufinley using the hashtag AskUF. And there it is. All right. Let's do some introductions so we see what we're talking about, and then we're going to get right into our topics.
Hi, I'm Anna Foreman. I'm a P3 here at the University of Findlay.
I'm Kyle. I'm also a P3 student here at the University of Findlay.
And I'm Amanda Eichel. I'm also a P3 student here at the University of Findlay.
Got P3s all around. All right. Tonight's topics, we're going to talk about pharmacy. Why pharmacy? And if you're thinking pharmacy, why would you come to Findlay? We got the answers for you. We're going to talk about the admissions process. We're going to hit a couple of deadlines. We're going to talk about responding to a pharmacy offer for a seat in the actual program. What to expect during pharmacy interviews, and finally scheduling that ever so important visit. So let's get started, guys. Why did you guys choose pharmacy?
I chose the University of Findlay for pharmacy because of the 06 program mainly. Both my parents are actually pharmacists, so I grew up around it, and I could tell that pharmacy was something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. Findlay just has a very homey, small town feeling to it, which I really liked. And the whole pharmacy school really just feels like a big family.
Definitely. I visited all five of the 6 schools in Ohio, and it felt most at home to be here in Findlay. The staff members here are really, really helpful in getting you here, and as well as making you feel comfortable once you are here and helping you out. And having a smaller class size is really helps you get to know people a little bit better than some of the larger universities that I visited.
I chose pharmacy because I had some medical conditions that I was going through in high school, and that kind of made me want to get into the health profession, but more pharmacy because I'm really interested in learning about drugs and how they work and interact. And I chose Findlay also because of the 06 program, because once you're in all 6 years as long as you hold a certain GPA. And I really like the small feel of the University of Findlay's campus. Like Kyle said, the pharmacy department and your pharmacy class is like a big family.
Outstanding. So we know why you wanted pharmacy. Why did you guys choose Findlay?
I chose Findlay because when I visited here, the faculty was super friendly. Everyone seemed really willing to help and talk to you and answer any questions that you had about the school. I really liked that the campus was small and compact because I didn't want to have to walk a half hour to get to classes. And everyone was just super friendly, like compared to like the other pharmacy schools that I visited, where it seemed like they weren't as open to talking to you and they were a little more standoffish.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Ayla. Like I said, I was at a larger university before I transferred to the University of Findlay, and very often I feel lost because I didn't know a lot of other pharmacy students, especially in the first couple of years. I didn't really meet anybody else that was pharmacy related because I'm in general education classes with other pre-vet students and other pre-med majors and other things that didn't pertain to my field directly. Whereas at the University of Findlay, since it's smaller, I see those pharmacy kids a lot more often. I made the connections quicker, and I just got more into my program better.
I chose Findlay because, like Anna said before, the staff and faculty were very open to answering any questions. And now that I'm here, whenever I have a question in the class, the faculty and staff members have an open door policy. So if you have any questions about homework or exams or anything like that, they are more than willing to talk to you. And I also like that Findlay's a small campus, but it's kind of in like a developing, growing city. So there's a lot of things to do in Findlay, and there's a lot of restaurants to eat at. So kind of have all around the nice small campus where you get to know everybody, but then you have the city that you're able to do things in.
All right. So it all started with an application, and I think you guys probably remember your many applications that you guys filled out. And so let's talk application process. Give me the start. What does a high school student need to know about the application process?
Well, to start, high school freshmen or seniors can apply 3 ways. They can apply straight from the University of Findlay's website, and it's a free application. You can apply through direct, Farm Direct, or you can apply through the Common App. So any 3 of those work for incoming seniors.
Awesome.
There are requirements though. You do have to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA. Okay, you do have to get a 23 on each section of your ACT, and then 530 on your SAT. So you need all 3 of those to apply as well.
And then they do super score on your ACT. So if you can take it more than once, and then they will take your highest score on each section for whenever you apply for those.
Great. And we've got some deadlines coming up for the pharmacy program itself. Shoot off those deadlines real quick.
So the deadline for the supplemental application for high school seniors is December 31st. And then for transfers, the deadline is for fall of 2016, the deadline is March 1st. And then for some interview days, for high school seniors and transfers, it's going to be November 20th and 21st, and then December 11th, 12th, and 18th, January 8th, and the transfer student is actually May 13th. So the first ones I listed off are for freshmen, or high school seniors and coming freshmen.
Excellent. If it went too fast, just rewind the video right there. Otherwise, get a hold of your admissions counselor, and he will be happy to give you all those dates again. Now, before we get to interviews, you touched on interviews just a second. Before we get there, let's talk about the offer itself, the pharmacy offer, the golden ticket that comes in through the mail that all 3 of you received. Talk a little bit about that. When you get that offer, how should you respond to that?
When you get your offer, it will have 2 options for you to sign, whether you can accept your offer or you can decline your offer. And if you do sign that you accept your offer, you need to include $500 seat deposit, which you'll get back then once you attend your first day of class. And that'll go directly into your account.
All right. Do you guys remember getting your offer letter?
I cried happy tears.
Best day.
So we get the offer, we accept the offer, because we're not going to turn down an offer. Come on. We accept the offer, and now we gotta get through these interviews. What do you guys know now that you can give advice to a high school senior on how to prepare for that interview?
The interviews that we do, they're not laid back, but they're not super high intensity. It's make sure you come dressed professional, a nice pair of like dress pants and a dress shirt, or girls you can wear a nice like dress skirt down to the knees.
What about jeans? I can wear jeans, right?
Jeans are not acceptable. Even if it is like a nice pair, you need to make sure you wear dress slacks.
There you
go. And you'll get partnered up with a faculty member, and you'll go back to their office, and then they'll just ask you a series of questions. There could be an ethical question. For example, like if you saw like your best friend cheating on a test, what would you do? There's that. There's why you are interested in pharmacy. What leadership roles have you done? It just kind of covers all the bases. And it's just like having a conversation with another faculty member. It's very relaxed. And then once you're done with that, then you'll go and write an essay. And you're back.
Like Anna said, it's really not meant to make you nervous or to scare you. It's a very personable interview. That's why, unlike other schools, we do a one-on-one interview, so it's not super intimidating for you as a student. You come in and meet your faculty member. You'll do about a 30-minute interview with them. Sometimes it runs a little bit shorter, sometimes a little bit longer. And then you're just going to write a quick essay on topics that you cannot prepare for. They're nothing to do necessarily with school or education. They might just be a question that we as students come up with, or a faculty member might come up with. And once you turn that in, you'll be free to go. And then a couple months down the road, you'll hear from us with the decision.
You guys remember your interviews?
Very distinctly.
I remember I came in, it was really cold out. I was dressed up, I had a suit on, and I don't think I've only worn a suit for maybe 2 other occasions in my entire life until I was here for pharmacy school. But I came in, it was a really relaxed interview. I had Dr. Thompson interview me for about 20 minutes, and then I wrote my essay. And I always had like a student ambassador with me along the way, so to show me where to go and help me out. So it was a very simple process to take.
One of the things you need to remember with your interview, they don't tell you this, but it definitely makes a point for you that you stand out if you ask a question. Whether, I know my question was, because I play tennis here at Finley, and I asked what the professor's opinion was on balancing academics with sports, and whether he thought it was a good idea or if he recommended doing it. And it just shows that you're engaged in the conversation and that you are interested in Finley and in pharmacy because you're taking the time to ask a question. So come in with a prepared question.
So just some steps to remember now are, first, to apply to UF, we told you the 3 different apps for freshmen, or incoming freshmen, and for transfer students. And then once you get the supplemental application, fill that out and send it back to UF. And then you'll sign up for your interview. After that, you'll have your interview on one of those interview dates that I said earlier. And then you'll get your offer letter, and then you'll send back your acceptance for your offer letter.
Great. Good deal. Let's back it way up. Let's go to square one. Let's talk about visiting a campus, getting on a campus and scheduling that visit. How many times did you guys visit Finley before you made the decision? Yeah?
I did. I was probably almost 4 because I came for a general visit. I know at the time she was in P3, I came in and sat in her pharmacy classes with her. And then we came for interview day and then scholarship day. So there's many stops to Finley.
That's awesome. And sitting in on the class, that's very important and something that a lot of students don't think about.
For sure, it helped a lot. And the faculty was super nice. Like my friend, she talked to her faculty that she had for class that day, professors, and they just mentioned it to them that she had a high school student that was looking at pharmacy and wanted to come in and sit in classes. So I just went with her to all of her classes, and the faculty were super nice to introduce themselves. They took the time to say hi to me and ask me how I was doing and what I thought about Finley and the pharmacy program and everything.
And to sit in on that class as a potential pharmacy student, you have to have that offer in first. Then you're able to sit in on that class. So definitely, once you get that offer, schedule another visit, get back on campus, get back in the classroom.
I think it's also important to visit campus more than once because it's like test driving a car. You have to get a feel for it before you make your decision to actually come to the university and for pharmacy. So to schedule a visit, go to the website, the University of Finley website, or call admissions because we would love to have you come visit.
Awesome. Awesome. We are open for questions. If you guys want to ask any questions at any time, there is a little chat box underneath the video that's playing. Go ahead and ask your questions. You can also tweet your questions to @UFinley using the hashtag AskUF. There it is. We have one question that came in by a tweet, and I think it was for the early application, early acceptance. Do we have do we offer a a early acceptance into the pharmacy program?
Yeah, we do.
And
But so we send when you come and do the interview, they don't send out all the acceptance letters all at once. We send it out in waves based on how the faculty felt you were for getting admitted, whether how you ranked against your peers. And they'll send out that first wave initially right after interviews are done, and then they'll wait and see how many they get back, and they'll send out another wave of interviews, wait and see how many they get back and how many like acceptance and declines, and then keep doing that until we get the number of between 72 and 74, which is really nice because I know some schools, they send them all out all at once. So they're just shooting for that range. They're like they're aiming for 74, but they get like 150 acceptance letters back into pharmacy class.
so the question, word for word, is there an early action application deadline? That's word for word. Not to say that your answer was wrong. You're spot on. You're right. But the early application, the word for word question is what I was going for.
So yeah, so there is an early application deadline, and that would be December 1st. So if you're looking to maybe get that first wave of interviews that we send out, definitely make sure that you have in your application by December 1st. And earlier is always better. Like I said, if you can get it by November, that's great. By December 1st is the absolute.
All right. We get a lot of questions, not only in these Hangouts, but just day to day, or, a lot of questions, and we want to get some of those out in the open and aired out. So tell, from a student perspective, what is our pharmacy program looking for in a student?
Well, they're looking for someone who is involved in their high school because you have to be able to have leadership qualities in order to be a pharmacist, because as a pharmacist, you're going to be in charge of interns and technicians. They're also looking for you to be ethically sound, because when they ask the ethical question, you need to make sure that you have a good backing to your answer, because whenever you're in a pharmacy, you're going to be around a lot of narcotics that are easily abused and that you can get addicted to. So we want to make sure that you are ethically sound with that. So the ethical question could make or break you in your interview. So make sure that you have a good answer to that.
Also, we're looking for people that are really just self-motivated. You do have a lot of in-class work that you have to do, but there's a lot of things outside of class that you're going to have to be able to step up and make sure that you're getting done. And there's plenty of organizations on campus to help you with that. There's different study groups and things that you can join to help you. If you're having trouble with a certain subject or things like that, we're always here to help. I know personally, I study tables most nights when I get off work, just because it gives me other people to study with and help if I have questions. I'm there to help you with that, rather than me trying to remember those questions and asking classes.
Yeah, overall, we're just looking for a good, well-rounded high school student. Like Amanda said, you have leadership skills, ethically sound, you have good communication skills. That's key for pharmacy. And they just want to see that you care about pharmacy and that you're involved.
Great. We're answering questions right now, and we are also taking questions right now. You can ask all of your questions in the chat box that's right below the video there. Otherwise, you can tweet your questions to @UFinley. There it is, using that hashtag AskUF. All right. Another question we're going to throw out here is sport related. We definitely want to let everyone know that you can do pharmacy and do a sport at the same time. So that's one big question we've got. And we can do that.
Yeah, doing pharmacy and balancing athletics is very doable. I'm in my third year of pharmacy school, which is the first professional year. So it's really when you're starting to get into some of your pharmacy classes and your workload really starts to pick up. So I am cutting back a little bit how much I'm doing tennis this year. I'm still involved in it, but my coach is working with me and doing a great job of that, allowing me to choose when I want to come to practice and going to the matches that I can. The key thing to being a student athlete in pharmacy is just being able to balance your time. With playing tennis, it's a fall sport. So as soon as I came in freshman year, I jumped right into all of my classes and straight into tennis season. So it's just really getting into a schedule and learning how to balance your time. Definitely being a student athlete isn't for everyone, but if you are able to do it, I would recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to get friends that are outside of pharmacy and just branching out.
And Victoria has asked a question. She wants to know about getting credit over the summer of her freshman year at Findlay. She'd like to know which classes, looking specifically at pharmacy courses, what does that curriculum look like, and do students most likely take those classes in the summer?
I mean, you definitely have the opportunity to go ahead and take classes over the summer. However, when you're going to go ahead and sign up for those classes, you're going to want to contact the college first to make sure that those classes that you're taking are going to fulfill the requirements that you need for pharmacy. That way you don't waste your money on a summer class. So the best way would be to contact Suzanne Crouch. She's an administrative faculty member here in the College of Pharmacy. And her phone number is 419-434-5478. And she'll be able to help you out with that and answer your questions about that. Like I said, just make sure that you contact her first before going ahead and looking at what classes to schedule, just so that you don't waste too much.
And the courses that you're going to be like, if you are looking to take summer classes like prior to coming here, the classes that are more safe, that will are more guaranteed to transfer, are your Gen Ed courses and English classes. These Gen Ed courses could be like pre-cal or calculus 1, history class, a computer class. Nothing that really pertains directly to pharmacy, just like general knowledge classes that you have to take.
All right. Thanks, Victoria. Great question. So we're talking about credits. We're talking about getting things coming to Findlay. Let's talk about high school AP and post-secondary, which is now College Credit Plus. And one of the big questions that we get is, does Findlay accept College Credit Plus?
Findlay does accept, but like Kyle said before, the registrar will tell you exactly how they'll transfer for the pharmacy curriculum. So once again, the Gen Ed and English courses and your basic like Spanish and history courses, those will most likely transfer. I know some people are in AP Calculus, AP US History, things like that. So you have to get certain scores on the AP exams in order for them to transfer for the University of Findlay. And then like the post-secondary classes where you take out of college, once again, just call Suzanne to make sure that those are going to transfer because some things are pretty specific for the pharmacy curriculum.
Great. Another big question we get is if our program is accredited.
Yes, we are accredited.
We're fully accredited.
And all right, answered that one. So we got time for a few more questions. I want to throw it out there one more time that you can ask your questions in a little chat box. You can tweet them in at @UFindlay and use that hashtag #AskUF. So Lizzie has another question. This is a good question. How do I conduct an interview if I do not live in Ohio?
We encourage you to come to campus. So we do have Saturday interviews. So you're not using school days in order to travel here. If you are still needing something else, like a different interview day that's not one that we already have set up, you're more than welcome to call Suzanne and she can help you set that up. we said her phone number earlier, so just go ahead and rewind that video and you can get her phone number again.
419-434-5478. And like I said, that's Suzanne Crouch. She's an administrative assistant here at the pharmacy, and she'll be able to help with any questions that you have in the application process.
And Stephanie just chimed in. Stephanie would like to know, how many incoming first-year students do you take in the program?
Finley takes 72 to 74 students. Incoming freshmen, your like very first pharmacy class, and that was one of the major, like we were talking about earlier, why you chose Finley. That 72 to 74 number is one of the main reasons why I chose Finley too. Because what you're going to do is once you get your pharmacy classes, we're going to break you down into around 35 per class, and that's how you're going to have your classes. So it's basically like a high school class again. Your faculty, they know you by name in your classes, and like they said before, there's an open door policy, so you really do get to know everyone, and your faculty know you too, which is really nice because you're not just a number in a room.
We do have a 7-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which is the lowest in the nation, so that's really, like Anna said, one of the reasons I chose here too. You get to know your faculty members, and you're able to ask them questions.
All right. Again, we're going to throw it out there. We'll answer a couple more questions before we wrap things up. We definitely want you guys to ask your questions here in the chat room. And then when people come back to view the video, they can see those questions, see the answers in the video itself. We also want you to tweet your questions to @UFinley using that hashtag. There it is, AskUF. So Morris came in with a question. And he, first of all, there's a very good comment. He says, "Hey, thanks guys, you're doing awesome."
Thank you.
Morris wants to know what the minimum GPA is if he has a 2-year college prep requisites.
I was in the same boat. I did transfers. I did a 2-year study at a different university and transferred it. So you have to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA. Okay? In those 2 years of prereqs that you took at a different college, you have to have no lower than a C in those classes. So those are the main requirements for a transfer student.
All right. So let's slowly wrap things up here with your guys' closing thoughts. If there was something that you had to tell a high school senior to start doing today so that they're ready by next fall, and just maybe just overall general thoughts, anything that you would like them to know.
I would recommend shadowing a pharmacist. I know I did that before I even applied to the University of Finley, because it definitely gives you a feel for actually like being in a pharmacy and being able to see what a pharmacist does on a daily basis to see if that's something you're actually interested in. Because once you get into Finley, you're in for all 6 years, as long as you hold a certain GPA. So you want to make sure that whenever you come, this is something that you want to do, and that definitely gives you exposure to the field.
Yeah, for sure, like we really hit on before, making sure you visit the university. One of the things that I remember my parents saying when we were walking through campus for the first time, like they were asking me, "Anna, could you see yourself living here for 6 years?" Because that's basically what you're doing while you're here. You are living in Finley. And you want to make sure that this is the campus for you. Like I knew instantly when I got here that this was what I was going to, because I love the campus. I love the people. And like Amanda said earlier, that it's not, you're not out in the cornfields. Like there's restaurants and movie theaters. There's a mall. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do here. So you have a nice city area, small city area around you, and then the campus is super nice.
Stephanie chimed in and she said, "Thank you." And we got a tweet from Sarah. Sarah's digging a little deeper here. She wants to know what type of questions to expect during the interview. Do we want to give her that information? Should we let her know?
They're more or less get to know you questions. they're not going to scare you. They want to know if you're going to fit into the program. So they want to know things like, what leadership qualities do you think you possess, or why did you decide that University of Finley would be a choice that you consider?
But they're not going to trick you,
They should,
right? They're not going to ask you any questions that are going to.
They're supposed to make you comfortable.
Yeah.
But they will ask you some ethical questions that may make you think for a minute. So don't be scared if you have to take a second to think about a question before you answer. It's perfectly normal in the interview situation to have to sit there and think about a question. And everyone should expect at least one ethical question in their interview. Because like Amanda was saying, the professors want to see how you handle that situation if you have that ethically sound background that they're looking for.
And they obviously want to know why pharmacy. So if you don't know why you want to do pharmacy, that's kind of important.
Yeah. They should know that prior to coming into the interview. Yeah. All right. We're going to wrap things up here at OilerNation. If you have any further questions, please ask them here. We'll keep watching the hashtag #AskUFinley. There it is. Otherwise, get a hold of your admissions counselor, call Suzanne, and we'll talk to you real soon.